Hello everyone, this is Nerdy John here, and today I'm kind of just ranting about the Supermega situation. Now, if you guys remember, a few weeks ago, actually probably about a month or two ago, these allegations have been out for a while now. This girl released a nearly 2 hour long video, probably a little over 2 hours, about her experience with one of the artists that used to work for a channel called Supermega, and in the video she accuses him of SA because of a situation that happened in one of the Supermega guys' house where she was giving him oral and he basically pushed her head and forced her to continue doing it even though she was really unsure of herself. Now, when it comes to that side of the story, especially with the artist himself making his statement, basically where he's like semi admitting to like the wrongdoing, my gut instinct would be something sketchy probably did happen when it comes to that, right? But my issue with the story comes in when Supermega gets the blame for everything because they didn't immediately take her side. Because what Supermega did was they heard her side of the story and they heard his side of the story and eventually came to the conclusion that he should be fired. So keep in mind, they sided with her eventually, but they didn't take it immediately. And I was watching a highlight video that Turkey Tom made. Goku Naru makes a cameo in it, and they were talking about how like a couple months before she came out with the video, she was making tweets and comments like, "I really want to go to a barbecue with these guys." How she wanted to hang out with them again. But again, these guys are supposedly, helped her abuser and, said that she was basically lying about everything, right? Well, also too, it turns out that she's in another relationship with a commentary channel by the name of Ethan is Online, who's also friends with Nick is Not Green. And just a few days after her allegation video came out, guess who made a video? Nick is Not Green. Oh, also too, on the day of the video being released, Ethan is Online with his girlfriend, by the way, made a stream basically celebrating the downfall of Supermega. Basically, this was I don't know, guys. It seems like a really suspicious, coordinated effort to try and really ruin Supermega's career over some really petty stuff. And I'm sure you're wondering, well, if she was talking about how, she wanted to go to a barbecue with these guys a few months prior to the allegations, then what happened? Well, I guess she was still friends with another Supermega employee, who is gay, and eventually now, no one believes, not even Nick and all of his little cronies, because the girl had to eventually release a twit longer about the situation, how she was going to unlist the video, private all of her statements, and even said that he was lying because he became an uncredible source. Which, by the way, guess what? Nick is Not Green used, because in his video against Supermega, he didn't just stick with the allegations that the girl had brought up. No, he brought in a bunch of other BS, like, "Oh my god, did you hear that they said a bad word like 4 years ago? Guys, this is really awful. We need to cancel them for this. This is truly awful." And this is just... It's mind-boggling that no one took the time to properly research this. Like Nick Not Green, they don't care about victims. They really don't. They just care about who can they get rid of next, okay? Cause okay, Ethan is Online. Understand how that guy might have a little bit of a hate boner, for lack of better phrasing. Or Supermega. Allegedly, they helped facilitate a bunch of awful stuff about his girlfriend, So, I get his bias And I understand where Nick's bias would come from because he's friends with not just Ethan but the girl as well, right? But like when you're doing something like this, talking about a situation like this, if you're covering something this serious, you need to make sure that you do your due diligence and say that these are all allegations. But no, he was stating everything like it was an objective fact on her end, and that Supermega are just really evil and twisted people that want to hide everything. And guess what? When Matt and Ryan did their response videos, they basically, because they included not just like the SA story, it gave them more ample room to debunk a lot of stuff, making them look more innocent. Which, by the way, I'm not saying they were guilty of the SA stuff, but like if your mission was to take them to task, as it were, for their supposed wrongdoing, well, you fluffing your video up with a bunch of other false stories, guess what? Completely ruins your credibility and allows them to get away scot-free because, hey, if they're able to prove this other stuff isn't right, then what you were saying before must not be right. So you ruined the girl's story. Plain and simple. All right? And like, look, usually I'm not the type of guy who says, oh, you have a responsibility for like stuff your audience does or this and that and the other thing, right? But if you're covering a serious story like this, and you're not like the jokester, like, all right, guys, let's call someone lame for 10 minutes, right? You're not that type of person, and you're covering serious stories, then yes, you have a responsibility, I would say, to get things right. But they didn't get a single thing right in the story. All right, and guess what? They're not facing any repercussions from this. Now, I did check out Nick is Not Green's original video on this, and a lot of the newer comments seem to be lambasting him for his lack of due diligence when covering this. And like I said earlier, the girl's video is now unlisted, or just straight up privated, and it seems like they just all want to quietly forget this situation ever happened, despite, you know, trying to ruin people's lives. You know, they just want to live and let live now, guys. After holes have been poked in their story, you know. Just live and forget, you know. Oh, I'm really sorry that, you know, we tried to ruin your careers. Can we just forget about that real quick? But yeah, this is just, it's frustrating that people still think that they can somehow get away with situations like this, despite us going through like the Slazo situation, the Quite stuff, and being able to prove objectively that the people, these accusers, are more often than not, at least in terms of online, in the wrong. Okay, now what I'm about to say next is like super obvious. Okay, I'm not call me Captain Obvious instead of Nerdy John, but like if you were legitimately assaulted, all right, whether it be by a YouTuber, an artist, or whatever, right, instead of bringing your story online and basically letting the court of public opinion take them down, take your story to the police. Now, will it take a long time for results to happen? Of course, because the police need to gather evidence. All right, like they need to do a bunch of research on their own time to make sure they're doing their due diligence. Okay, because surprisingly, guys, that's a serious offense if it was done. All right, and you can get a very long prison sentence for doing such a thing. And I feel like we live in an era where the police, you know, due to stuff that they, don't get me wrong, wrongfully have done, are not trusted, but like they still want like some form of justice to be done when it comes to like these online figures that are supposed predators, and they expect the internet to some reason solve everything, when that's really not the case. I mean, look at EDP, right? EDP should have gone to jail for what he did, but because the online aspect of the situation was so screwed up, the police had nothing to get him on, basically, because like none of the information was gotten legally. All right. So basically, because of everyone's distrust of the police in these situations, like the police aren't able to do their job properly. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, like, if you were legitimately wronged in some way, shape, or form, go to the police first instead of making your twit longer first. Okay, because that's the only way you can solve situations like this. Because what? Oh my god, guys. This person was assaulted by this big YouTuber. Oh my god, that big YouTuber now has a few less thousand subscribers. Oh no. And then, like, they just wait a year and they can get their career back. Because that's how the online stuff works. People forget. Alright, and, like, the best example of, like, the police being effective in these types of situations is, what's the guy's name? Austin. I want to say Austin Jones. If I got the name wrong, the last name wrong, I'm terribly sorry. The first name was at least Austin, but he was a predator. He would purposefully go after his younger fans because he knew he had influence over them. And eventually the police got involved in the situation, and he's in prison for a very long time. I think, like, he still has, like, maybe like a decade left on his sentence, you know. And even when he gets out, he has to register, you know, and he's not allowed near kids ever again. Basically, this dude's life is ruined. Okay, if he doesn't get offed in prison. But hey, you know, like, oh, I can get really popular off of canceling this YouTuber, so I have to do that instead of, you know, doing the proper thing. But that's my little rant about the situation. Nick is not green. Should never be trusted again. Okay, because if you remember, this dude was also the creator responsible for Sneeko getting off YouTube. All right, he told his fans to directly go attack his channel by flagging it. And look, I don't like Sneeko. Sneeko is a very easy person to make fun of. He makes very derogatory statements. All right, I don't like the guy is what I'm saying, but I think he should have his platform to say the stupid stuff, because guess what? We can make fun of the stupid thing and less people will believe him. But basically what Nick did effectively is just take him to his own little corner where he can preach into his echo chamber and no one questions him. But that's my little rant about the situation. Done and over with. If you're watching this, thank you so much. And I actually have to shout out all the members, because guess what, guys? We have members on the channel. Let me do that real quick. You can tell this is not going to be an edited video. This is just all one take. All right, here we go. Here are the members, and thank you so much. We have Marble, Xylee Gets Real, Be Hearted, Voltage Mike, Mike the Bike, Abby Blackbird, Spectre, Rachel. We have Doug, Annie, Maggot Edits, Dawn. We have Laura, Rap Chick, Matt Pitt, Plants, Lucid Enemy, Illicit Assassin, Not Your Boy, Weird Collar Guy, Default 89, Muldoon, Pigeon Salad. We have Huggy, we have A1C, we have Peepaw Riveter, and K-Huck. Thank you all for being members, and thank everyone for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and leave a like. Comment on what your opinion is of the situation below.